Good day, and welcome to Reading English, the school shining on the sky of your English learning through appropriate and meaningful stories. Today, I am going to read for you an enchanting story called The Little Girl. It is a story about kindness and courage, and about how even the tiniest ray of kindness can act big and shine brightly on the dark roads of life. So, sit back. Listen attentively, and enjoy the story. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you wish to get more stories like this. Now, let us begin. Far away in a quiet village nestled amid rolling hills and thick forests, a girl named Lila lived. She was 10 years and had brown, sparkling eyes full of curiosity and kindness. Her clothes were seen here and there patched, and her family very poor. But that does not discount the gleam in her smile that was enough to keep away the dark clouds. Lila lived with her mother in a little mud house with a thatched roof. When Lila was just an infant, her father passed on, and thereafter her mother went through years of working hard to provide for herself and Lila, who was only just 5 years old at that time, by weaving baskets and selling them at the market. Though poor, all of their hardships were overshadowed by love. Every morning, in the wee hours before sunrise, Lila would wake up to help her mother with household work. Cool air kissed her little face as she went outside to sweep the courtyard. Then she hurried to the village well to draw water, whilst gripping the heavy bucket in her tiny hands and balancing it carefully. Every drop counts, she reminded herself, determined to do her part. After an early morning meal, her mother handed her a small basket and told her to go into the forest and gather firewood. The forest may have been far away, but Lila loved walking along the tall trees and breathing in the fresh air. She loved listening to the birds singing and the leaves rustling. But she was always cautious, for the forest could harbor dangers like snakes and wild animals. "Be careful, Beta," her mother would say, her eyes full of worry. "Yes, Ma," Lila would softly but boldly reply, her heart full of courage. One cold autumn morning, she ventured further into the forest than she normally would. Soft sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting miniature shadows on the ground. As she did so, she heard a weak, pitiable chirping. It was faint and trembling. She stopped and listened intently. It came from a place beneath a bush. Lila looked, somewhat curious and somewhat concerned, and there lay a tiny bird on the forest floor. It was bright and colorful, but with one wing looking hurt and broken. The bird tried to fly but could only manage a small flutter of the wings before it weakly collapsed to the ground. "Oh, you poor thing," Lila whispered, her heart full with compassion. She knocked the fragile bird into her hands. It trembled, frightened by the sudden movement, but Lila spoke softly to calm it. "Don't be afraid, little one. I will take care of you." She carefully wrapped the bird in a piece of cloth she had with her and began hurriedly walking back home with light steps. When she got home, Lila found some dry leaves and soft grass and prepared a cozy bed for the little bird inside an old wooden box. She cleaned the box thoroughly, lining it with the soft materials, ensuring that the little bird would be comfy and safe. "Here you go, safe and cozy," she whispered as she gently laid the bird down. She named Chirpy, for the sweet little sounds it made even when so weak. After all those days, Lila kept Chirpy under her wing. She fed it grains and fresh water, and made sure it was warm during the freezing nights. Lila would talk with the bird most of the time, telling it stories of the forest, the clouds, and the stars she hoped to see someday. At times, Lila's mother would bring some herbs from the market, in hopes the bird's wing would heal quicker. Although the other village children mocked her and called her silly for spending so much time with the little crippled bird, Lila would never have listened. "Every life is precious," she would say resolutely. "I will help Chirpy." Weeks passed, and slowly but surely, Chirpy's wing had started to heal. It would flap its wings a little more every day, attempting to fly across the room. Sometimes it would fall down weak and tired, but Lila was there to comfort the poor creature, encouraging it to try again with patience and love. One afternoon, with golden sunlight beaming through the window, Lila was sitting quietly observing Chirpy, and then the bird just fluttered its wings and flew happily in a little circle around the room. Lila clapped happily and laughed with joy, tears of happiness shimmering in her eyes. That very next day, with a heart brimming with hope and pride, Lila threw the window wide open. Chirpy hesitated for a moment, spread its wings, and soared into the bright blue sky. It flew higher and higher, the beautiful melody resonating through the entire village. Lila saw Chirpy until it vanished amid the trees, feeling much contentedness and tranquility. She knew she had saved the bird's life for the second time. News of Lila's kindness and courage spread all over the village. People cherished the little girl who, despite a life full of hardships of her own, had chosen to display a deep, genuine form of love towards a helpless creature. The tale of Lila reminded everyone that even the smallest individuals can do great things. Lila's soft heart taught the villagers that with kindness, patience, and courage, they could heal wounds visible and invisible. It would remain with them for many years, making their world a little gentler and more hopeful. Vocabulary highlights. Word, nestled. Meaning, settle comfortably within something. Example, sentence. The village was nestled between green hills. Word, thatched roof. Meaning, a roof made from straw or similar materials. Example, sentence. Their house had a thatched roof to keep it cool. Word, compassion. Meaning, sympathy and concern for others suffering. Example, sentence. Lila showed great compassion for the injured bird. Word, fragile. Meaning, easily broken or damaged. Example sentence. The bird's fragile wings needed careful handling. Word, hesitated. Meaning, paused before doing something. Example sentence. The bird hesitated before flying out the window. Word, compassion. Meaning, feeling kindness and care for others. Example, sentence. Compassion can heal many wounds. Word, precious. Meaning, very valuable or important. Example, sentence. Every life is precious, no matter how small.